Hello. How are you guys doing today? As you can see, I'm going to be doing a little whipping chat. It's actually been a while since I've simply logged on and completed a whipping chat. For whatever reason, I find when I have a few extra moments, I'm trying to get engaged into catch up on lives and whipping chats from some of my favorite YouTube creators. So it has prevented me from taking a few moments to kind of get all of mine set up. But I'm coming into an exciting time right now. That exciting time I mentioned during my live last week, which is that I'm going to be announcing my next giveaway. So I definitely want to kind of jump in and go over that. My next giveaway is I'm going to, I probably will have more of an official date Wednesday during my live. Um, what the goal is that the winner receives their items, by the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. So I placed an order for the diamond paintings. I'm going to be giving away two diamond paintings and two Sadie's hand turned diamond painting pens. One pen is going to be what I call a pocket pal. It's going to be a small one like this, my little Halloween pocket pal. And then the other one is going to be a regular size diamond painting pen, such as this. It'll probably be, this is what I call a traditional bump. It may be a spindle. I just ordered my first spindle type of acrylic pen. I do have a pocket pal that's a spindle. They sort of look like this, but in the middle of the traditional length. So obviously you get the tips that you can add the pins to. I mean the drill pin tips. You can add those to either end. And I'm just trying to get you so you can see the hole right there. It's kind of chiseled in as they enter the acrylic blank. Just to kind of give you an idea. So again, it'll be two pens, and there'll also be two paintings as well. So just wanted to make sure that I was kind of going over that, so that I'm gonna line that up. And I just wanted to kind of really quickly jump in and kind of talk a little bit more about what I'm working on. As you guys know, I keep showing this picture as my thumbnail image because this is the painting that I'm working on. And I usually am pretty good about signifying what I'm working on as my thumbnail. This is a painting from Victoria's Moon. It's a young company out of the UK, and they did contact me and ask if I would be interested in completing one of their diamond paintings to conduct the review. I obviously am not done with this painting, so this is not like a formalized review or anything. I will say, loving the colors. Love the colors and the size. 40 by 50 definitely probably is my favorite size. Next, I'm working with rounds. I do have a preference for square drills. I love the detail that square drills can provide to a diamond painting. I selected this in a round, and the reason I selected it in a round is because it's a new company, and I don't expect for this company to be able to compete yet at the level of some more established companies. So what did I do? I ordered something for me that would be an easier review on. Just looking at the basics. The basics when it comes to diamond painting is something that a newbie would be interested in, and that's really the mindset that I wanted to dive into completing this painting would be, is how would it be for someone brand new to diamond painting to work on. Okay, the first thing, the size is a comfortable size. Second, the diamonds are beautiful. They come already baggied. I love this. I do have my favorite when it comes to storage options. My favorite is Harbor Freight. However, you have to kit Harbor Freight up. When it comes to ready to go out the box, start diamond painting, I really do prefer the baggies. So, as I said, just going by the newbie perspective, these already come kitted up. The diamonds are beautiful. 310 is something that I will look at when it comes to sparkle. It's because it's black. And so I will look at 310s and I will determine sparkle right away. I will tell you there is not a lot of trash, although, I feel like I'm just under halfway full. There's not a lot of trash diamonds. The 310 diamonds, although they're sparkly, they're probably the ones that I'm seeing probably the most issue with. And I'll show you why in a moment. Um, these, as you can, I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but there's just a tremendous amount of sparkle. 310 is something that I gauge the sparkle on when I'm doing a diamond painting, and there's a lot of shine to it. The only other issue that I have is this is my trash bin for the diamond paint for this painting, and as you can see, there's only 310 in there. So when it comes to trash, I'm only really getting them when I'm doing the 310s. I haven't had most of the colors I've been working with are like 823, 929, 939. So, which are darker colors. I would expect if there's some trash in the 310 that there would be trash in maybe those colors as well, and I don't have any. So I do like that. And trash, again, speaking to just a newbie, trash is something that like your diamonds. I call these diamonds. A lot of people call them drills. So it's something that your diamonds, something imperfect about the diamonds. They may have an extra nib or something around the edge of the diamond itself. They may be irregular in shape, like a little bit larger than some of the others inside. So I use that as trash. I kind of put it off into a boat, if you will, and then from there, I kind of throw those out. I don't use them and things like that. So that really is what I've been doing. And the reason why I came on this morning is because I just wanted to kind of focus a little bit more on, like I said, just newbie, getting back to the basics. When I first started diamond painting, I had so many questions. I was brand new. I didn't understand a lot. I'm still learning. And I don't think that it's something that I'll ever conquer. I'll probably always have questions in and of itself. But one of the things that I do like is that, I've come to understand a few things. And I just wanted to kind of share those things that, come to learn. First and foremost, when it comes to diamond painting, and you just start out, you are wanting to do probably smaller paintings just to kind of build up, a collection of completed works. So when you're wanting to do a lot of smaller paintings, you're looking for things that are more economical. I started on Wish. Wish will charge you an amount for the item, and then once you get it in your cart, you will pay a separate amount for the shipping. And it was all that I knew because that's the first place that I saw a diamond painting was on Wish. However, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Oh, I thought this price was reasonable, and then I get into my cart and it's time to pay, and I lost the economical edge, as you can say, that I thought I had attained. So I was looking around. I came to a couple of other different places, and I think next up was eBay. I started to purchase from eBay. What I do like about eBay is there were a couple of sites on eBay where I could buy multiples. Like I could you buy 4, get 2 free, things of that nature. So I definitely took advantage of sites like that just to kind of get some on the way. But you were still waiting because all of these items come from China. And I'd still left a lengthy amount of time that I had to wait for those items to come in. And I really was getting excited. I had started Googling and YouTube searching, for diamond painting and more, that I saw other people diamond painting, the more I couldn't wait. So then I started to shop in person, and I saw them at Michael's. Michael's is a craft store that I have been going to. I had several different craft addictions over the last 20 years. One of my first craft addictions definitely was crocheting, and I have crocheted a ton of blankets. I think that is, something that you can start children on really young. I started off at 8. My daughter started crocheting at 7. She does hold the record. No one else has started in our family younger than 7. She made all of her Christmas gifts that year. She made scarves, she made hats and socks and things of that nature. Um, and then she gave her own Christmas gifts. So crochet definitely is something that will probably stand the test of time. But from time to time, it can it's something that I feel that we pulled out sometime around October, and we whatever we could get done by the second week of December is truly what we got done. It didn't satisfy the crochet, the crafting gene or the crafting desire, if you will, the rest of the year. So kind of moved on looking for other crafts. My next craft obsession would have probably have been, for me, I tried to do jewelry making, um, with the tiny beads where you put the string beads. I thought I was going to make it big in jewelry making. I was going to sell them. They were such a great idea to me. Why wouldn't anyone else want these? So now I got 50, jeweled earrings, and I'm the only one looking at them saying, ooh, ooh, ooh. Here is my first trash bead, or diamond, with another color. And just for the newbie, I don't know if you can see that one, Lone. It's a round, it's supposed to be, but it is, I don't know, it looks like it was half built. There's little particles attached to it, if you can see it. I just tried to show it. So that's going to go into the trash bin. Okay. Again, that was my first one from a color other than 310, so not too bad. So the next thing that I did was definitely the the beaded earrings, the tiny seed bead earrings that you put, earring on, they dangle and they hung down. And those, I thought were gorgeous. I had several different styles. I would make probably 5 or 6 for each pattern piece that I had. So I had quite a few. I started doing craft shows trying to sell them. People would come by in droves. Oh, those are gorgeous. Those are nice. And they certainly kept it moving because they sure didn't purchase. So I am baffled about how something can be so gorgeous but not tempt you to want it. Definitely was baffled by that. Obviously, I saw it for all the glory and splendor, but no one shared that passion quite so much with me. So those sat around for a long time. I had put them in their own separate wrapping, put them in little tiny baggies. The baggies that you see these diamonds coming in, I would put a pair of the earrings in, wrapped in nice cloth, and then they were ready to be sold, and they didn't sell, so they sat there. And so that kind of killed. I still pulled out my crochet every winter, and I had a long time standing customer. My father loved crochet blankets, and so every year I would. And this is my real dad. I know that you guys hear me talk about my stepfather a lot because him and my mom were married for so long. But my father, he loved crochet blankets, loved them to pieces. And so I would always, every year, make a crocheted Afghan for him. He had them all over his house. And he's the type of person, He does not turn the heat on until the temperature reaches, deathly levels in his house. And he would always just invite someone, oh, you cold? Let me get you a blanket. Like that's going to stave off something. But he offered his blankets up instead of turning the heat up when he had company over. That's a good way to keep company from coming over. So I guess, you didn't get a lot of unexpected guests that way. But he he definitely would request blanket color schemes and all of that every year, and I would get to sitting down and crocheting, Afghan for him. So that was something that I enjoyed. Like I said, it didn't satisfy my need to craft year round, because sitting with the yarn and things on my lap, it really was only feasible to do in the cooler months. It wasn't something that I wanted to do when it's 70 degrees outside and I'm hot under a blanket. So it became a habit. I ended up having children, and right around the time when my kids started to get about 2 and 6 years old, I decided it's time to, try and craft again. We've done all sorts of things. We went into soaps. We went into, I used to sew. I made their clothes, and they would model outfits and things. Costume making. We did oils. We did bath salts. We've done woodworking. We created baskets. We probably single-handedly helped to put Longaberger baskets out of business. I came from Ohio here to Vegas, and I was very shocked after I got here to find out that Longaberger was going out of business. But a lot of people had truly got into their own homemade basket making, and we, kind of fell into that as well. So it's not that it was hard, to understand. It's definitely easy to understand. You create the basket the way you want. You could go in to the company and take a class and craft your own basket, but it was just much easier to do from within your own home and things. So single-handedly, as more people got into crafting, I could see how certain, companies, unfortunately, would fold. So just to kind of give you an idea, kind of moved along from all of that. And then, as I was saying, diamond painting. Diamond painting started off just oh my goodness, can't wait to see this. Oh, I can't wait to get this. A lot of things came along with my desire to want to diamond paint. So not only did I, want to purchase the canvases and then to, work them, but, wanting to have the canvases and the artwork that I like the most, that started to become an addiction also. So not just, the painting portion, I call this the plucking, not just the plucking portion of the craft, but the collecting of the artwork soon became an addiction in and of itself, aside from just the plucking. One moment, I'm drinking coffee. This is actually coffee today, guys. Nothing in it except creamer. One moment. So it's still really hot too. Anyway, so I definitely, was looking for places to where I could purchase, and then the purchase was economical, because I suddenly noticed that when I saw a painting that I liked, I would like to have it in my collection. Not simply, just as a piece to sit there and hang out, but the way that I began to look at them is because of how long it took for them to arrive when I ordered them from Wish and eBay. I would like to have a selection that I can choose from right here within my home, so that I didn't have to wait for them to come. So that I began to look at, such as like a wardrobe. You know, you have several items in your closet to choose from. We don't just get up and wear the same item every day. We have a selection that we choose from. We have a wardrobe. So the way I began to look at creating a stash, and I didn't call it a stash at that point, I was creating literally a wardrobe so that I had the paintings that I wanted to work on. I had them here at my disposal and I could start them as I wanted and not wait for them to arrive. That literally was the goal. The same thing happens with gamers. They don't just buy one game and only play that one game. They like variety. They like to have what we call a stash of options so that after they're done with this game, they can simply move on to the next game. And no one questions that. But the building up of a stash of diamond paintings seems to come into question a lot more than any other, craft. No one questions collecting yarn and having a plethora of yarn, especially if you caught a sale material. When no one questioned that. All of the earrings that I had left over from my early days of crafting, no one questioned, well, why do you have so many? Why did you make so many? I never got questioned on that. But I do get a lot of questions about the building and making of my stash. So I thought I'd address that because I know there's a lot of newbies who probably feel the way that many of us diamond painting creators and enthusiasts, you probably feel the way we feel, like, oh, I would like to have, oh my God, I can't believe I got to wait that long to get this. Well, my next order is going to have 22 in it because I'm not going to have to wait, 7 weeks to get any more paintings and things like that. So, you know, that's truly the nature behind it. Incidentally, diamond paintings right now are the only craft stash that I am housing. My earrings, my children and I began to utilize all of our crafting skills, such as soap making, candle making, bath salts, and basket making. We ended up creating gift baskets and we put earrings inside the gift baskets. And what we did with them was we sent them off to the troops. And when we sent them off to the troops, they would then be able to use these items to send to their loved ones as gifts. So that was a huge undertaking here in Boulder. Well, I live in Henderson, but Boulder City is very close, and I used to work part time in Boulder City. There was a lady who used to go to the post office there, and she would put up signs that she was sending things over to the troops to help out. She wanted to help them with care baskets and items that they can send because they don't have a lot of shopping options. And it's very difficult if you're the mother or spouse or even a child of someone that's deployed. It's very difficult for them to have options other than, local tourism and things like that. And that's probably something that they received when they first got stationed or deployed to that area. So she had this sign where she would, like to send out big, large packages of items to give to troops, to where they could either, one, it was, care package to help them with different supplies and things like that, or two, items that they could then use as gifts to give to their loved ones. And so that's what we did. We turned all of our craft skills and the things that I was housing. Remember, I told you I had probably over 50 pairs of earrings. We could put in a gift basket and send off. 10 of the earrings that I had were 4th of July themed earrings. I thought they would really sell though. I started them in like a February-ish time frame, in time for Memorial Day coming up in May, and I felt like whatever was left over from my Memorial Day purchases, I could kind of, then pass along to 4th of July. The earrings were a bit, pricey. I think I charged $20 or $25 a pair. But when I dropped the price down to $10, I still couldn't sell them. So lesson learned, maybe I should have done a little bit more marketing and things like that. Incidentally, I will tell you guys how I got into the bead making. Have you ever seen those assemble product from home ads? I will tell you that they work. You truly can make money assembling products from home. You can't make a lot of money assembling products from home. It probably averaged about $4 to $5 if your product was good enough to be accepted by the company. But I did used to assemble products from home. The idea behind the earrings was I can sell these for more than what I'm making. No, I couldn't. They probably was selling them for $10, and they probably had a gimmick somewhere to where they were able to be successful. I wasn't successful. I wasn't in the demographic region that called for these to sell for $10. They definitely didn't sell at 25, but that is how I got into the earring making. I assemble products from home, and in assembling products from home, I got a little bit of a paycheck and things like that. And I did that to feed my craft. I definitely needed to feed my craft addiction and things like that. So just to, kind of sidetrack, that is what I ended up doing with those. So right now, when it comes to housing, any type of stash and any type of craft, I know I see a lot of craft room tours. And in those craft room tours, I will see shelves of other crafts. Like they'll have, yarn, and they'll have, right now for me in my craft area, I only have diamond painting and diamond painting supplies. I did try to foray last year, just before diamond painting, into polymer clay. It was another brilliant idea of mine. Ooh, I'm going to get this polymer clay. I'm going to make all these cute little polymer clay earring and necklace and bracelet sets, and I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell them as a whole set. I was thinking about, I can't remember the name of the company. There's a company out here that sells necklaces and things like that. You get an earring and a necklace set for $5. Incidentally, that's a good price point, especially if you're only going to wear the item a couple of times. It's not something that I think you should plan on lasting for more than, I'd say a good five all day, wears. Because after that, your neck will be green. But for $5, it's a great gimmick and things. So my goal was, can I make it cost efficient enough to where I'm making earrings and a necklace, selling them for about the same price, $5, and the jewelry lasts longer than 5 to 7 wears. That was going to be my goal. And then diamond painting came along. Oh, here's what really sunk the idea. When you get polymer clay, you have to condition it. You have to soften it up, really work with it, condition it. There's oils and things that you can use to condition it. They even have machines that you can use to condition it. But I didn't have any of those because I spent enough on the polymer clay, on the tools, the rolling pin, the knife to cut it with. I didn't want to have to spend any more money, and I hadn't sold anything yet. So I said, that'll be something that I'm sure I'll be able to get once my business takes off. And it didn't take off because if you know anything about me, you know that I purchased these acrylic pens because I have arthritis in my hands. And so conditioning the polymer clay became an issue off the bat because of the arthritis in my hands. So I think I played with it for about 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And then I was done. It was like, I saw my dream fizzling on into the toilet. And that was pretty fun, but the colors are pretty. I pull out the polymer clay every once in a while and just kind of look at the colors and say, this would have been a good dream. I say that a lot. So That clearly wasn't for me. Anyway, that is actually how diamond painting came along. All of the shopping that I did on Wish to get my polymer clay tools, my polymer clay molds, um, everything that I used in order to work with polymer clay, I kept seeing these diamond paintings. And it said 5D, full drill. And I said, I wonder what that's about. And yeah, I looked up a video. I seen it. I was like, oh my goodness, that looks fun. That's what I said. It looks fun. Yeah, it definitely looked fun. I couldn't wait. I would have never ever have guessed the waiting process to get that first painting. That created like such a I don't know, the anticipation though, the angst, it created. I'm sure any new person that is coming into diamond painting and you're waiting for your first painting, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm quite sure that that angst is there for you. So it's hard to put a word to it, but that anticipation is what kills. Sorry, had to take another sip of coffee. Anyway, because the anticipation kills, I ended up in Michael's. And I was looking, and when I found it, and it was Diamond Dots. Diamond Dots, I did the Van Gogh Cafe at Night. I know that it's been released new to Diamond Art Club, and yes, I will be doing that as well, so I can do a comparison. But Van Gogh at Night, that was who it was. I loved it. It ended up being like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I found this. I was so happy. Yeah. So I worked on that. I moved relatively quick, even though it was a lot of confetti. And again, speaking to the newbie, sorry about that. All right. And again, speaking to the newbie, confetti is just an area of your diamond painting where colors switch often, such as like right here. Color switch very often. And so an area where there's all one color for quite a while to where you could probably use a multi-placer, that is called a color block. So we have confetti, we have color block. We talked about square, we talked about round. This is a round, and I'm working in a particular area where there is a lot of confetti. There was a lot of confetti in Van Gogh. It was a round. It was extremely sparkly. It was the first painting I had, and I was gone. I did scenery after that. Scenery tends to have a lot of confetti as well. And the reason why scenery has a lot of confetti is because you need the different hues and the different details of the like leaves, of the flowers, of the road, in order to be able to create the picture itself. So there's confetti in those. And then I went into, after that, just some characters. Characters don't tend to have as much confetti. They tend to have more color blocking, especially like cartoon characters. So I did a few Disney after that. And then, as we all do when we start diamond painting, we begin to think that everyone wants to share in this with us. So we try to give diamond paintings as gifts. I've done that as well. Come on and diamond paint with me. Just so you know, if you're a newbie, don't waste, your time. Wait until they say, "Oh, I would like to do that," and that way you'll have a true diamond painting partner. But the funny part about checking in on someone who you sent a diamond kit painting kit to have a partner in the craft is they're always going to give you an update. It's a phantom update. They're not really doing anything. Oh yeah, I had it out the other day. Had it out means I looked at it and said, what the hell she thinking giving me this? That literally is what happens. So you do that a couple of times. You give a diamond painting kit to a few close friends, some people that you hope will get into it with you. The next thing you do is every completed canvas that you had, with the exception of your first one. A lot of people retain their first one. But every completed kit after that, just for the newbie, now becomes a gift to give to someone else. Because you enjoyed it so much. You loved when you selected it in the store that you bought it from. And you remember your mindset when you got, oh, this is great, this is beautiful. This would make a great painting on my wall. I'll hang this in my kitchen. Oh, this will look lovely in my hallway. Why don't I put this in my bathroom? Little Johnny would like this in his room. You think of all of those things. And the one thing that's missing is the person you're giving it to. Did they ever want this in their hallway? Did Johnny want this in his bedroom? We don't think about that. We don't think about that at all. We just, gift and gift away. My poor sister-in-law. And she's never said anything to the contrary. But I'm quite sure she tired of getting diamond paintings as gifts. She kind of made a comment about my niece. My niece had a graduation or something coming up. And I said, ooh, look at that. Oh, I know that would look so good on your living room wall or something. And she kind of deflected the gift off to my niece and said, your niece is about to graduate. She might want to take something off to the dorm with her. I didn't say anything at the time because, I like to have fun. But, message heard and things of that nature. So just talking to the newbie out there, just want you guys to know, to experience what I've experienced and to kind of understand where it's coming from. So after you get done giving away all of your treasured new diamond paintings, the next thing that happens is someone sees a diamond painting on your wall or someone else's wall. They know that it's a new addiction, I guess, or a new craft, that you're working on. And undoubtedly, they've talked to somebody at work, somebody's mama or grandmama also diamond paints, and they've looked into it. Once they start looking into it, you can best believe the next thing that they're going to say is, would you make this for me? And you will get the picture of a diamond painting that they found online. I call those special requests. So now you're getting special requests to complete paintings that are requested by someone else. Not that you selected, that came from your stash of things that you would like to work on, but a painting that someone else likes that they want you to work on for them. Then they're going to reap the benefit of just hanging up the completed work. Those right there for the newbie will create what we call diamond painting burnout. That was coined. I first heard that from Mrs. Coffee. So I don't want to take any credit for it, but I have stolen it because I myself, as well as my co-host who hosts with me from time to time, have experienced the diamond painting burnout. I got it completely and directly from receiving just too many requests for items that I, didn't want to. I wouldn't have purchased them. They're not items that I feel are must-haves for my stash. So it makes it difficult to kind of work on, I think someone put it best in one of my lives when they said, makes it seem like a job. And you do. It feels like a job because They have a particular amount of time that they want it. They requested it and asked you to complete it because they want to give it as a gift or something to that effect. Again, you're the one doing the work. They selected the canvas, they selected the piece of art, and it might not be something that you personally would have put on your stash and enjoyed working on. So it does, it becomes a task, a chore, a job. One moment, next sip. So that's that. Moving a little further along into the diamond painting world, the next thing that we have that we talk about a lot is the different types of adhesives. Many of you have a preference if you've been diamond painting for a while. But for the newbie, what do you select? What does it mean? How come some have clear cellophane wraps and some have these, what we call transparent? Just the short end of it, the clear transparent wraps, those are supposed to have a poured glue method to their canvas. And these right here, these are double-sided adhesive. So they, place it down on top of the painting, and then you pull off the top of the adhesive, and you're actually adhering the diamond to the adhesive, which is adhering to the canvas. Hopefully that helps. That is what I know of the difference and the distinction between them. So we have a double-sided adhesive and we have poured glue. This that I'm working on would then be double-sided adhesive. And there are some issues that people report with double-sided adhesive. You can have a bubbling because maybe the adhesive didn't lay correctly when it was laying over the canvas. So you may have bubbling or rivers, depending on how the painting is sent to you. If it's rolled or if it's folded, that can create problems with the adhesive. Those are things for the newbie that you want to look out for. You can search YouTube. There are videos on how to correct some of those imperfections. Some people flip it over and they run a warm iron over the back of their canvas, thereby helping to smooth out the adhesive a little bit more. Some people work with razors, and they'll kind of cut into the bubbling so that it lays down against the canvas and you're able to continue working. Those are all great ideas, and things that you can be prepared for as a newbie now that if you're watching this straight away. For me, these are things that I learned as the issue came up. So definitely, wanted to make sure that I mentioned them. One of the other things, again, I'm working on a round, and you probably won't see this as much with a round, but one of the things that I learned right away is the popping of drills. I came along at a time where there was something going on known as Drill-mageddon. Drill-mageddon was where a particular company had been ensconced in horrible drills that were square, because Drill-mageddon is mostly specific to square drill paintings. So if you have a round from a company and people are complaining about popping drills, usually they got that selection in a square. I haven't heard too much about round drills, except that sometimes maybe the sizing can be off, and other times, you may see nibs and things. They may have trash. But as far as like popping of drills and things like that, if you are working on a painting and that diamond doesn't stay, that usually probably is a product of more or less, I would say, the adhesive method that they chose, as opposed to, the diamond itself. So just something for, the newbie. Moving over from, the Drill-mageddon and the horrible drills and what you can anticipate with a round versus a square. The next, thing that I wanted to, kind of explain the popping of the square drills real quick. The square drills are made to fit, as you can probably see just looking at this painting, that you can see the spaces between the round diamonds. When you do a painting made of square drills, you can't really see the spacing as much. They fit together perfectly. They cover the entire canvas, and the detail behind them is just far more superior for the same size than a round is. But what you run into sometimes with some diamond painting companies is their squares are maybe abnormal in shape, or they have nibbly parts coming off the sides, and it makes it difficult for them to fit. And it causes spacing issues to the point where some of the diamonds will lift and they'll come off the canvas. They call that popping drills. And Drillmageddon was a time where one particular canvas maker had far more popping drills than another. I ended up being new during that time and purchased quite a few paintings with that issue. So it has become, for me, unfortunately, the measurement of how well a canvas and how well, the drills and things are for a canvas. Everyone is different and everyone will formulate their own opinions. I've been on sites where people have said they will only purchase from that same carrier. So I'm wondering, what batch I purchased from? Definitely, because I know I got a horrible batch. But again, it is something that, I feel can differ with each purchase. Maybe, it was just a particular lot. Maybe it's a particular time that things were being purchased. I'm not sure. But what I will say is I definitely purchased at that time, and I have a lot of their drills, their paintings, that I'm still trying to work up what I'm going to do. I started quite a few and I just, stopped because it can be sometimes just a drag to work on that type of a canvas. You can't wait to receive your painting. You spend a lot of time shopping for the right one, for the one that touches you enough to make you want to complete the purchase. You can't wait for it to come in. You have a particular thought process going through your mind when you are shopping for it, and you can't wait for it to come in. Can't wait to get started working on it, just to be disappointed when you start working on it because of things like, adhesive, or things like popping, drills, horrible diamond quality. And I do say I do call them diamonds a lot. I call them diamonds a lot more than I say drills, but they are one and the same for any newbies that are watching. Anyway, going over from there, not only do we have Drillmageddon and the issues that can sometimes plague us with the square drills, round drills, they can, depending on the company, they can lose their brilliance, their shine, their sparkle. Sometimes their facets don't allow sparkle as much as a square may. So the spacing on a round does help sparkle a little bit more for a round, but sometimes the facets, which are what are on the diamonds in the first place that cause them to sparkle, sometimes the facets aren't as brilliant. And so you have to rely on the spacing on the canvas in order for it to pick up shine and to pick up sparkle. The diamonds on a square, sometimes they lose a little brilliance because there's no spacing for light to reflect through and to be able to hit off of their facets. So just to kind of, help you with that distinction between round versus square, what could be trash from a round and what, could be trash from a square. Why the trash on a square matters more, due to spacing and things, and how facets come in to play a part in sparkling. Hopefully, for the newbie out there, because this is something that anyone who's been diamond painting for quite a while, it's something that you learn. The more works that you complete, obviously the more certain things start to become understandable. Some of these things I wish I had known starting out, which is probably where, this morning came from. Because I certainly got up and was like, I think it's time for me to just get back to the basics, just get back to, what I love about diamond painting and things like that. Not that I had fallen off of diamond painting. I certainly hadn't done that. But again, I haven't done a lot of whipping chats. And, so I wanted to kind of do my little whipping chat a little bit differently, kind of speak to the masses, but also talk to the newbie and everybody. Get back to that, because I do remember quite a lot, when I first started. And maybe it's because it's the time of the year. This definitely was the time of the year when I started seeing the diamond paintings. I was Christmas shopping. It just come off of Halloween, and was starting to see the images. I was like, I wonder what that's about, and if I could go back and talk to my young DP self, these are some of the things that I would want to have let myself know. I definitely would have wanted to know that. Have I attained a favorite? I don't know. My mom and I were talking, and she gives me a lot of insight when we talk into the craft itself. One of the things that she had said, because I love unboxings and I watch them, I like to see people's reaction. I like to actually gauge my own reaction. I do find unboxings show a different aspect of a canvas than you can see from the picture that you're shopping online. So I do hope that, a lot of people continue to, purchase and unbox, because it helps. Obviously, with the fact that items can get discontinued, or you can see it on one site and, if you didn't bookmark it, have a difficult time trying to get back to that painting, because they're not titled. A lot of them aren't titled on like the AliExpress store sites and things like that. So sometimes that makes it difficult to get back to those paintings. So what happens is, we end up purchasing based on that first connection that we feel with the painting. And that's a good thing, except if someone has done a unboxing of that, I'd rather see their unboxing and then make the purchase option than, being the first one. Sometimes there are artists out there who their rendering is so nice, and I don't have any issues with anything previous that I might have purchased, or like stores. No issues with anything previous that I might have purchased, that I will go ahead and simply purchase from them. I am quickly developing some favorites, but I will try anyone, because I feel like, again, there are some companies that have just been around longer. And, does that mean that a new company can't come along and get in the game and entice you and make you feel just as good? Nope. I don't think that that's what that means. So I will try new companies. I will try other companies. Why? Because of their variety, one. Because of their price point, two. Because they're trying new things, and they want to be a top contender enough to maybe take into consideration your feedback as well. So those are the reasons why. So I moved over from, diamonds. We talked about Drillmageddon. We talked about round versus square. We talked about my history with diamond painting and things. We talked about my giveaway that, I want to set up for everyone. And kind of moving over from there, some of the other things I like to talk about is not only the symbols on a painting, because this is something that I definitely never thought about as a newbie, but some of the things that they do with the symbols. When you get a diamond painting, you definitely want to check it for symbols that are close in design. And what I mean, like right here, I have an F and an E on the same painting. And from this angle, sometimes I can't tell if this bottom line for the E is there or if that's an F. Keep those kind of things in mind. I really don't like when they do symbols that are close. The other thing are like Q's and O's, Q's and D's or O's and D's. Sometimes, again, sitting from an angle, it's difficult to see those. So I do try to, look at the painting several different times, but symbol quality is something that is huge and something I knew nothing about until I was well over probably 10, diamond painting completions. So symbol quality is, essential. Definitely look into that when you consider your first. See, some of the AliExpress sites, they will actually show you their symbol pattern on there. I like those. The other thing that I think is good to mention and let everyone formulate their opinion, when you see the symbol with a circle around it, they do call those training wheels. The training wheels on a round, and sometimes on a square, but it's not so bad as a square to see the outline, the square outline, because your entire canvas is going to be completed by squares. So you don't hear training wheel complaints as much when it comes to a square diamond painting, but when it comes to a round, it's important. And the reason is because I can see the training wheels off of a lot of, especially these lighter color diamonds. It may not show as much under 310 or a 939 or an 823, but it's definitely going to show under some of these yellow, a 3865. I can see all of these training wheels. The unfortunate part is, there's not a lot that you can do. Maybe you can seal your diamond painting. When you seal, that's another way of keeping your diamonds adhered to the canvas. The only thing I don't like about sealing sometimes is, especially with a round, they fill in the spacing so much that it can dull the little sparkle that you do have. If you have a round that has a lot of facets and you can see the sparkle, sealing that, again, spacing helps to reflect the light so that you can see a lot. So sealing it, meaning filling it up like grout in a shower, kind of dulls some of that sparkle. So, those are things that you learn as you continue to diamond paint. Hopefully, it's not too much of a bother. This painting that I'm working on, it has training wheels. I try not to let those kind of things impact me too much. I mean, it doesn't take away the beauty of the painting. I'm excited for the painting. I can see it coming together when I look in the viewfinder. So, I'm excited about where the finish is going to take me. I just wanted to kind of, jump in, speak to the newbies, because I have so many people that are messaging me, telling me they're new to diamond painting. And they're glad they found the channel and things of that nature. Yes, I'm a nut. And, aside from this very important, educational piece, you probably will see me acting crazy the most. But I wanted to actually speak to this time of the year. A lot of people are becoming into the craft. They're going to be brand new to the concept of diamond painting, and some of the things that they could probably consider when it comes to their purchasing. I wish I had this like quick go-to guide that I could listen to and keep in mind for when I shop. But it is something that I think about, on a frequent basis when I'm shopping now. We all, have our favorite, stores and things like that that we shop. Um, and not to shout anyone out because I am not an influencer and I don't get, any type of payment or anything. But some of the more economical, I will say, sites that I find have quality are on AliExpress. And be mindful when you do shop AliExpress. Some of these locations have multiple stores. Okay, Home Fun is someone that I have grown a huge appreciation for. Home Fun has 3 different stores: Home Fun Official, the Home Fun Factory, and then the Home Fun store. So definitely be mindful of that because maybe they all don't have the same quality when it comes to some of the drills and things like that. And you'll probably find, that when you're looking on sites, when you're looking on YouTube and you're hearing people say, well, I purchased from them and I didn't have that same experience. That might be the reason behind that. So there are, tons of stores that are sister stores. They opened a separate one under a different name, but they all have the same warehouse and things of that nature. And you'll start to hear that in the diamond painting community as you become more acclimated to it. But it is a fun craft. I love the art of diamond painting itself, but I've also I feel like I also gained a separate addiction, which is the shopping aspect of it. And then a third addiction attached to it, and that's the creating of a stash. For me, I look at my stash as an art collection. So I don't look at it as, let me build this stash up. I look at it as, hey, I have a great art collection and I'd love to be able to share it and show it. So I definitely, plan to continue to add to my art collection because I feel, like it speaks to who I am and what my likes and my tastes are. One thing that I will speak on because I notice it so much, and it's happened even to me, just on a smaller scale, is that when there is someone who shares their stash, they share their video of their stash so that we can get to know who they are and what their tastes are and what sales they may have caught, what was going on at the time when they made that purchase. I feel like there are some people who will, woe is me, you have so much, why don't you send to me? That request, that ask for something that someone else has worked hard to attain. And how I will reply to that is, you would never go into a store and say, hey, you have so many of these, why don't you give me one? You would never go into Walmart and say, you have 45 of these shirts just hanging here on this rack, why don't you give me one? You would never go into an art museum and say, look at all them paintings just hanging there on the wall, won't you give me one? And I am so baffled by why people feel it's okay when someone shares their stash to say the same thing. So with that said, I'm not here to bash or anything like that, but I wanted to kind of put it into perspective because I don't think that they see their request in that light. They don't see it in that light, And so, I don't name call and I would never do that. But that's the mindset behind that request. So the stashing is being shown to share and to just give you an insight into who the owner of that art collection is. Not to say, hey, here's what I got, tell me what you want. And because that would be the message behind that video. But I mean, even when you don't do a video and someone knows that you made some great purchases, If you're a YouTube creator, you can probably expect to get at least one of those. Oh, you have so much. I don't. You should give me type of messages or hidden messages, because sometimes it's not that, open. I wish somebody would give me. Those are what my mom and several people who watch Judge Mathis call dry begging. It's not really a direct request. It's more of a, ooh, if they really cared about all of this, sadness that I'm about to throw their way, they would find it in their hearts to be generous and fulfill this request that I'm secretly asking for. So I'm just hoping that, as a newbie, I've kind of addressed a lot of the things that I've seen over the past year. Not quite a year yet. I'm 2 weeks off from, a year. But the things that I've seen over the past year, the things that I've learned and wish I had knew over the past year. Introducing you guys to my next big giveaway, just so that everybody knows. I'm waiting for the items to come in. Obviously, there'll be one big official where I show you guys the things. And for me, I love a scavenger hunt. I really enjoy watching other people's videos. And on top of watching other people's videos, I will send my people out into their audience to pick little pieces of their video to bring back and answer as one of my contest questions. And I think that just helps bring the fun, the scavenger hunt. I'm giving away great, items, and, I don't have a number or anything associated. I just like to have a little bit of fun with everyone that comes out and watches. Usually my videos are about 30 minutes for the contest, and you comment after the video ends. So anybody that's always interested, they will have that opportunity. And I just hope that, everyone comes out, has a little bit of fun, shares diamond painting with me, and you never know. After this, post to me what you're working on. I would love to see, or to be able to click a link to what you're working on or what your most recent purchase is, so that I can see if I have it in my stash. If it's something that I really enjoy or I didn't get a chance to see, I might, purchase as well. But I definitely know that I see so many works in progress online, and their paintings and things that I never came across when I was shopping. And I'll be truly tremendously interested. And there's no link or anything, there's no title. If you shop AliExpress, there's not a lot of names of the canvas itself. It'll just maybe tell you what they're doing. Fat girl eating an apple or something like that. Baby rocking in his chair. So it makes it difficult to be able to go back to those paintings and things, and be able to get them. I usually keep a shopping cart full of paintings that I like on AliExpress, and I do the same when I shop on Amazon, and I save for later on eBay. I haven't shopped Wish in a long time. Again, it's because of the separate shipping and handling. I don't like to pay shipping and handling if I don't have to, especially if I'm spending a pretty penny. I very rarely only spend $10. Very rarely. If I'm going to place an order from somewhere, I'm going to order a nice, order and help that business out. And so I don't want to have to pay shipping on top of, the product if I don't have to. Sometimes there's just been ways I couldn't go around it and things like that. But yeah. So I definitely, appreciate anyone coming out and enjoying my WIP and chat. I hope it was informative, because that's what I was trying to do, is just kind of allow you into the mind of where I, was at, or wish I was at when I first started, along with just getting to know a little bit about, this community, especially if you're a newbie. I think I'm addressing a particular set of messages that I received over the last month. I think it's great when somebody new comes along and they reach out to you and things. And I want to continue to urge that. Hopefully, everyone that's catching this, first time around, they're hitting the subscribe button, they're hitting notification, and they're going to come out and laugh when I have my ding dong moments. So, with that said, I won't, keep you. I wanted this to be right around an hour, but I went about 10 minutes over because she sure can't talk. But thank you guys for, tuning in. Hopefully, if you have any questions, post them outside of this down in the comment section, and I will try and get back to you. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.